Good. Okay. The time is 6 o'clock, and I will call to order the, April 22nd meeting of the Granite Falls School Board. All join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you all. Okay, we'll hand it over to Thomas here for the land acknowledgement.
Okay. We honor the first peoples of these lands by acknowledging that the area in which we gather is within the traditional territory of the Stillaguamish tribe of Indians. The Stillaguamish people have inhabited these lands and waters since time immemorial, and their descendants have remained in this territory to this day. The Stillaguamish people have continued to practice the traditional ways of their ancestors of fishing, hunting, and gathering. The Stillaguamish tribe has had these lands and cultural traditions passed on to them by their ancestors who believe that everything has a spirit. They are the caretakers of these lands and waters.
Thank you very much. Okay, in attendance tonight, we have Director Farley, Director Veach, Director Dane, myself, Director Ledoux, and then Dr. Giesland as well. I'd like to make a motion that we excuse Director Penangas tonight.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then we also have our student reps here, Jada, Leah, and Thomas. Thank you for joining. We'll go around as per usual, starting with the board, then we'll come back to you for comments as well too, so get prepared. Director Farley, any comments, thoughts?
Last Saturday went to the bowls put on by the Community Coalition, and it's another great opportunity to see how much the community of Granite supports themselves. Lots of people and lots of great items, bought a few things, and got to share with the community. So it was a good event.
Great, thank you. Director Veach?
I just had one quick announcement thing, which was that there's an apprenticeship fair tomorrow from 4 to 6 or 4 to 7. That's what I was trying to figure out was the ending time, 4 to 7 at the Snow Isle Skill Center in Everett near Boeing. So if you have a student that might be interested, just know that that's happening. And you already talked about the super one. So I think that's all I have this time.
Okay, thank you. Director Dane?
Yeah, a couple of things. I got to sit in on initial health and wellness committee meeting led by Rachel Quarterman, and we had a really good turnout of staff members there. And the point of it is to look at our policies, the district policies around health and wellness, and for them to make comment recommendations and then come up with recommendations if needed for any changes to those policies to the board as soon as we can wrap that up. And so it just got started. It was a great start. Really engaging conversations. And so I appreciate that. And then on Monday, I got to attend a WASDA event in Arlington with Director Giesland and about developing a relationship with the community and our legislators, leaders, and interacting with other directors and superintendents. And it was a really good meeting. So I appreciate being able to do those things.
Great. Okay, and then from my side, doesn't look like it right now. I feel like we had fall summer. It'll return again, but it was great over the weekend. I went out to the Kashmir Invitational, so there was a bunch of people out there from Granite competing out there. We also had a track meet on Thursday here. Tons of people out there. School from Alaska came down. So that was really exciting. I did also want to mention graduations. It's crazy. They're already coming up here in a few short weeks, it feels like. Crossroads is 6-3. Remember to keep me honest on the dates. The high school is 6-5, and then our transition program is 6-10. So lots of stuff coming up, and then everybody else, I think, gets out like a week later, something along those lines. For most of the audience in the room here, I think that came to visit. You unfortunately don't graduate also on the 5th, but not too much longer. Okay. We'll move on to item 3B, superintendent, or actually, no, scratch that. I need to jump ahead of myself. Jada, any comments from your side?
Well, our sports are doing really well. Our tennis is another 2 year of not losing. So that's amazing. And then proud because I'm in the win. And then we have packed the place. So with other sports to get more participation, we give snacks out. So, and then once you participate with enough, then you get like a donut at the end of the year. So that's a great way to get people to start coming. So if you want to come, get some donuts or chips.
And that'll be the baseball game coming up.
Yeah, I think it's the track and the softball. It's on a couple of the home games. I'm not sure what all of them, but I think they started out.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
We have Game of Tiaras. It's a play that we're doing at our school, at the high school. It's going to be Friday and Saturday. Friday's at 7 o'clock and then Saturday's at 6 o'clock. Heard it's really funny. Should go and support. We're also doing Senior Assassins. So we'll see how long those people stay in. Okay, funny. That's all I have.
Okay. The Granite Falls Fire was out today at high school. Granite Falls High School, gauging interest for the fire science program. And we have the National Honor Society induction coming up next week on Tuesday at, what is it? 6 o'clock. So there's that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and Senior Assassin, I know we bought our son goggles. So
safety first.
Well, it's apparently some portions, if you wear swimming gear of some sorts, it's a safety.
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah, you have to have it on your
Protects.
head.
Yeah.
That's why everyone had swim gear.
Yeah. The more you know.
Fun.
Okay, item 3B, superintendent report presented by Dr. Giesling.
Great. David, could you go to the slides? Thank you. And you go to the next one. And one more. Perfect. There we go. All right. I'll elaborate just a little bit on some of what our student reps to the board said. So we're excited about this exploration of our this fire science program. We have been working really closely with Granite Falls Fire. This is a CTE program, a career and technical education program. And if we have enough interest, it's also offered at Snow Isle, which is our skill center. But on most given years, we're only allowed a couple of kids to get into that program. And across the region, there was last year was 122 students who wanted to get into the program and couldn't. So with our new fire station and maybe a director who is highly involved in the fire service here in Granite Falls, and we have such a lovely partnership with them, we started talking a few months ago about this. And so the idea is that it would be a half-day program. Kids wouldn't have to go all the way out to Everett to Snow Isle to engage in it. They could stay right here and attend their half-day. They would get 3 credits, some science and probably CTE and PE. At the end of it, the exciting part is there's a need. And at the end of it, they would come out with certifications to be employed as firefighters, EMTs, those kind of things. So we know there's an interest in CTE. You have to have student interest and you have to have an industry need, which this is. And they don't necessarily have to go become firefighters. They could go become something else in the medical field or another service field. So we're really excited about this partnership. And I can't say enough about how incredible Granite Falls Fire has been to work with. It's very, very exciting. So they were at the high school today. They had some places where you could take a picture. They made Tani take a picture, I think the face in the thing, and gave out information. Some celebrations at the end of May, the last board meeting in May, on May 27th, there will be our 4th quarter Success in Education Award winners, and then also our Bridge Builder Awards. If you want to nominate a staff member, so that's parents, that's students, you can nominate staff members who just go above and beyond to build relationships with you. And we would love to, once again, recognize our staff members who win those awards. Last Thursday, we had a Tiger Cabinet meeting, and Tiger Cabinet is, of course, for students grades 3 through 12. We have about 63 students who gather about once a month up at Granite Falls High School, and I lead them in some leadership exercises and different things. We've had guest speakers, we've had a number of activities, but this one was a little bit focused on kids recognizing what leadership skills they have and what they would like to hone in on. And kids made vision boards and did a lot of really cool things. One thing that they did was they gave advice to their kindergarten self, and we will be taking that over to Kindergarten Roundup. And some of the kids, they talked through some of it, but they're like, there are so many things we know now as a 7th grader or as a freshman that I didn't know then. So that's one of the components. That was one of the stations that they worked on. In May, our Tiger Cabinet students will be meeting with legislators. We have invited our 39th district representatives and then also Senator Wagner, but we also went big and invited our federal legislators. So we've invited Senator Murray's office, Senator Cantwell's office, representatives, and then Governor Ferguson to come. The worst they can say is no, right? And so we want to make sure we put Granite Falls on the map. And the really cool thing is our students then will have small groups and they'll move through. I've told the story before, but last year it was incredible to see our kids asking our legislators questions about the things they've supported. And we had, I think it was a 5th or 6th grader who said, to Senator Wagner, like, that's great, but what have you done for kids? And I loved that, right? It kind of put him on the spot. And he was like, okay, that's a great question. They've also met with our school board and those kind of things. The idea is to amplify student voice, to sit with our kids and find out what's working, what's not, and how can we better serve them in our schools. So we had Tiger Cabinet and it was great. Next slide, David. Coming up, we are launching a facilities committee and an athletic fields committee. These are 2 committees that are, to talk about the levy funds that will be coming in. So thank you to directors Dane and Farley. They're going to be spending a significant amount of time in these committees. We are so grateful to our community for passing our levies, our EPNO, so kind of our operating levy, and then the levy around our athletic fields and improvements and those kind of things and technology. So those committees, there was lots of communication out and people signed up. Each committee has about 25 people from the community that want to be on that, because the truth is these fields and these upgrades and those kind of things will outlive, well, maybe not our Monte Cristo kids, but they'll outlive many of us in these rooms. So it's really important that we're doing what the community wants and we're spending that money in spaces that are going to serve the community. Let's see. Operations and planning, of course, looking at our CTE programs continually. We had some audit information last year around CTE programs, so we're going to continue to improve those. And then we had a study session before this board meeting to talk about bridging that financing ahead of the levy collection, which won't come until spring of 2027. And then Director Dane talked a little bit about us attending the WASDA regional conference on Monday. Next slide. Thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Executive Director Quarterman. We have our SSAs. It is funded by the county, sponsored by the county, and our SSAs are across our district, and they do incredible work with our students and families, and the county annually reviews that work. And I wanted to turn it over to Rachel so she could tell us a little bit about that.
So this work really wouldn't be possible without our SSAs. So at the elementary, Kathy Bernhardt, who I've learned a lot from, is pretty amazing. Jillian Olson, who supports at the high school and here at Crossroads, and then Grace Rinaldi, who supports at the middle school. So this is something that's paid for by a grant through Snohomish County. So we partner with them in lots of different ways. So we had the opportunity to participate in an audit, which went very, very smoothly. Probably the smoothest audit process I've been a part of. The report was included in your packet. It's pretty darn lengthy, but it's just pages and pages of lots of really positives about our team. So some of the things around compliance, we met all the requirements that we needed to meet as part of that contract. Goals were met really with effective case management. We couldn't do it without the 3 young ladies that I mentioned earlier. Strengths, proactive, empathetic, well communicating. So anytime something comes up, I'm in the loop. I can always speak to it. Sometimes before I even get that call from our families or maybe a building. Consistent documentation. They switched to a new documentation system called Apricot. It is pretty extensive, but again, they're making sure that we're in compliance across the board every month. We did have a little minor fix that we're working on, and it's a really easy fix around some of our non-disclosure forms and making sure that we're bringing them up for the current year. And then just overall, it was a positive review, and the district partnership was really the strength. And it's been wonderful working with the county, and we hope to continue this program for years.
Thank you. Right, next slide. A couple of upcoming events. I know that our reps to the board, our student reps to the board talked a little bit about the Game of Tiaras. Those are the dates. It is Friday and Saturday at Granite Falls High School Performing Arts Center. There's a 4th grade music concert at Monte Cristo. So it will be at the building. So welcome to attend that. And then Crossroads High School prom, Friday evening at the Grange. Board members, if you're interested in chaperoning, you too can attend a prom. So next slide. I think, yes, we are moving on to Principal Losi. We have some special guests in the crowd. I'm super excited about that. And thank you, students, families, and staff for being here. And I'll turn it over to Maria.
Thank you. We also have a neon dance on Friday night.
Ooh, that is good to know.
Which I've been invited and encouraged to wear neon to, but
you will look
we'll
lovely.
see about that.
Yeah.
I'll be going, but I don't think the neon is going to
I think she should.
Well, thank you for letting us attend tonight. We're super excited to share with you some of the work that we've been doing this year at our school around literacy and how awesome that has been. So we're really focused this year on writing at our school through professional development and engaging our community. So why writing? We always start with data first, and looking at just a snapshot of the SBA or Smarter Balanced Assessment data. It really was quite disturbing to us that when we looked at the 3 domains of writing, opinion writing, narrative writing, and informational writing, there are 4 points possible just in assessing the structure of the writing. And 91% of our students across the school only scored 1 point in structure for opinion writing. 58% only scored 1 point in narrative writing. And informational writing, 75% only scored 1 point in structure. And for me, that's low-hanging fruit, right? And the other areas that they're evaluated in is conventions and spelling, punctuation, all of that. And that's worth 2 points. And then elaboration and detail, and that's also worth 4 points. But the teachers, we work together on leadership team and as a whole staff. And we really felt like if we really focus on structure this year, writing structure, and how to improve our writing instruction, this will be an easy win for us to lift those scores, achievement scores up, and then next year to really focus on elaboration and detail. So other research shows that when you focus on writing, reading achievement actually improves, because as students write, they're reading to write. Of course, they're doing that research, they're reading mentor texts, they're learning how text is structured, and writing their own text. So all those reading scores should also come up as well. And teachers are sharing with me already the results of Spring iReady tests, and we're looking very hopeful. It's also a missing piece in the curriculum. It is nationally, I will say, that most ELA curriculums are very strong in the reading piece, and writing is kind of an activity that's thrown in very sporadically along the way. So what have we done? We have been working on implementing research-based writing practices grounded in the writing process, a workshop model, and of course, our Common Core state standards, making sure that we are engaging our students in instruction that is aligned with rigorous expectations. We've been focusing on clear learning targets and success criteria, so our kids know exactly what strategy they're learning in the writing process and what it'll look like if they hit the target. Student engagement, giving our students opportunities to think as writers and use their writing voice, and be interested in the work that they're doing. And also the learning theory of gradual release. So teachers are modeling writing, doing shared writing with their kids, and then coaching their kids during the independent writing time, conferring. And then coupled with that has been the ongoing professional learning. So on early release Wednesdays and all staff meetings, we focus on learning, on adult learning, because I can send out in Tuesday updates, all the nuts and bolts communication, but that time in the room together to work collaboratively as adult learners is so valuable. So I try to use every minute we have together to learn. So we've been focusing this year on how to structure a writing unit that is aligned with our CKLA reading units. So for example, will you give an example, Ms. Cook, of a unit in 4th or 5th grade for reading and how that got coupled with a writing unit this year?
Well, I'm a little twisted this year since I'm doing 5th grade curriculum this year. So it's new to me this year since I'm used to 4th grade curriculum. But I'm going to put Aaliyah on the spot. Aaliyah, what was your favorite unit that we've done so far? And we'll give some writing examples. The Renaissance. Okay, so 5th grade, we read about the Renaissance. Very interesting that you picked that. Maybe because the one we just did, right? It's first on our brain. And so, yes, we took some of the learning from the workshops that we've been doing. And we took our Renaissance unit, which is informational writing, and we tweaked the assignment a little bit and gave them a little bit more choice and students say in what they were doing with their Renaissance unit to get a little bit more ownership in their writing. And we really developed our informational writing skills and went thoroughly over our informational writing skills, right? Great.
So students really focus on how to structure an essay.
Yes.
They got to analyze mentor texts to start with, and look at what writers of informational text do, right? And then teacher models those lessons from, a hook sentence to an introductory paragraph, what those body paragraphs consist of, transition words, and then a concluding paragraph. And we use a lot of visuals for our students, and the theory is that they're internalizing that structure so that then when they get to a standardized test and they have a prompt to write an informational piece of text, they've got that structure already in their mind ready to go. And they can read the 2 texts that they're asked to read and create a draft very easily. My leadership work has been focusing around modeling lessons in classrooms. I was a literacy consultant for the University of Washington Center for Ed Leadership before I became a principal. So it's really my wheelhouse. I'm passionate about literacy, and my teachers have been so gracious and lovely and invited me in and let me model in their rooms. We've been meeting and planning with grade level teams. I've been observing in classrooms and engaging in coaching conversations with teachers. And then one day, our 4th grade teachers actually helped me out by inviting a lot of kids to stay after early release. And they came in, we had 28 kids.
We had a full class.
28 kids came into the library, and I modeled a writing lesson in front of all staff. Clark, you were part of that lesson, right?
And I have a speech.
I'm getting to you, buddy. I love that. You're gonna be awesome. That's why we invited you.
You ready?
But the real reason we wanted to share tonight is some of the celebratory things that have been happening with kids. And I wanted you to hear teacher voice and kid voice tonight. So in February, February, we had the first annual family dinner and literacy night. So we invited families to come. We did not say like A through C has to bring a main dish. We just said, bring anything you want to share. And I always get panicky right before and think, oh, there's not going to be enough food. And there always is more food than you could ever imagine. And it always works out. And so that was awesome. We had a potluck dinner, and then teachers volunteered and came in and they set up different literacy stations around our gym and cafeteria, and families and kids got to travel to all those stations. We also had a book exchange. So we had a long table in the hallway covered with books, and we said, bring a book, take a book, but really it ended up just being, take as many books as you want, because we had so many books donated. It was great. Many of our students don't have a lot of books in the home. And this is some pictures from Family Literacy Night, you can see. And Megan, you've been at our school for a while. Would you just speak to Family Literacy Night a little bit?
I've been at Monte Cristo for 5 years now, and we've done a handful of events, and this one was by far the most outspoken, and the kids were there and they were all talking and interacting with each other, and it was a really great turnout for parents and kids. And the best thing about it is the next day when they're like, I saw you at literacy night. I'm like, you see me every day, guys. Outside of the school, it's really great to be able to see the kids interacting with teachers and staff outside of school, because then that's really when you're seeing their best self outside of school too.
Yeah, building great community that night, and kids getting to interact, and my teachers did an awesome job on all the stations. Kids just loved it, and families did as well. That's what authentic family engagement looks like, right? Where they're interacting with their school. Families are interacting with their school. And the next day, we had another event. This one wasn't any fun, was it, guys?
No.
Dave O'Hare came and he read his book, Quigley of Lopez, I think it's Quigley Lopez. Booster Club purchased a signed copy of the book for every classroom, and students learned all about the writing work from Dave, and it was so much fun. So students, will you come up? Come on up. Come stand up here with me. Right there. Okay. Do you want to go first, Clark?
Yes.
Okay. Share with the board what you want to say about the writing work this year.
I have a script. This is kind of nervous.
It's gonna be great.
Back when I feel like I'm messed up so much. Back when literacy night happened, I went to it as my first school event, and it was great. I even donated books without taking any. I just wanted to give them to the kids who like to read. I did a Mad Lib spoof where I could think of funny words and put them into a story. That was with you and Mrs. Jones.
Yeah. And we were so impressed. We've been fighting over who getting him next year ever since.
It was a fun experience and I loved it, but there's more. On another note, when the author came to our school, Dave O'Hare, at the end of the assembly, I told him about my book I'm writing. Wow, that's a little word bad. Even though I wrote it.
Sounds good to me. What did Dave say?
And he said he liked the idea. I have always wanted to be an author, and it was meaningful to have an author say they liked an idea that I came up with. Now, before I say the last little part, I would like to
say that my book is going pretty good so far.
Okay.
7 pages so far.
All right. Thanks, Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So the next person can share.
Thank you for your time and attention. I would like to thank Miss Rather for helping me with the ideas I'm talking about tonight.
Good job. Thank you, Clark. Hi. This is Mabel. Who's your teacher, Mabel?
Miss Benedict.
Miss Benedict, that's right.
Love her. Don't like the class sometimes.
All right, so share with us, how have you grown as a writer this year?
I remember back in like November, whatever, the beginning of the year. The only type of writing I remember we were doing was spelling. I remember in like December or somewhere around that time. Actually, no, in January, after break, our teacher introduced us to the opinion writing. I honestly hated opinion writing. I hated having to do the research. But I definitely grown from using transitions, especially learned how to use better transitions. But I've always liked writing fiction and narrative. So when Miss Benedict told us that we were going to do historical fiction next, I'm really happy.
So what was your topic for opinion writing?
My choice that I picked was therapy dogs. I am a dog fan myself. I love dogs way too much.
And what did you try to convince your reader of?
That therapy dogs should be in schools for kids support. And
are you listening?
I am all ears.
For kids support, and I learned a lot about it thanks to my trusty computer. As much as I can't trust it to work half the time.
Okay, well, thank you. Who's a writer this year?
A lot.
A lot. Tell us about it.
So in the beginning of the year, I sucked at writing. I'm not gonna lie. I was really good at reading. And then when it got to the opinion, I was because I couldn't find the things I was looking for, and then Miss Benedict helped me with that, and basically helped me understand that what good, oh god, wait.
You got this. She helped you understand.
She helped me understand that not everything's as complicated as my mind wants to make everything.
So are you confident about the structure of an essay now?
Yeah.
Were you confident about the structure of an essay before? No.
No. If my old teacher would have gave me a pen and paper and said write, I would be like, no, no, I can't.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. And this is Leah, right? Mrs. Cook is your teacher. Are you in 4th or 5th in her room?
4th.
In 4th grade. I got to come in and watch your class, right? A couple times, right?
Yeah.
How have you grown as a writer this year?
I mean, pretty good. At the start of the school year, my writing wasn't that good, but I've got better.
Okay. Do you want to share something?
Sure.
She took some notes on both the author visit and then on your class. And so
because you got to be in the class that I taught in the library. So you want to share about those experiences? About those 2 experiences, whatever you took notes on.
I'm just gonna come to support you.
I thought where he came in and read the book was pretty cool. He gave us like tips on how to become an author, and we got to ask some questions, and he answered a lot. He showed us that you can become a writer at any time in life, and he just gave us a lot of tips on
you can.
Which is pretty. What did our class like best about the author visit? Remember what they
Getting
said?
to see the real dog.
What about the author read his work?
Oh, yeah, the real author also read it.
He got to, yeah, a real author came in with his book and got to read it to us.
Yeah, not just like a computer.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Or me.
Big difference, right? Yeah, and it didn't hurt that Quigley was there too, huh? How about family literacy night?
I wasn't here.
Oh, I mean, how about the lesson in the library?
It was pretty cool. We got to make our own story, and what we liked about the class is we liked hearing you read the mentor text, give an example of how to write the narrative. Then we got to write our own. We liked being able to use our imagination and make the story up. We also liked being given the structure of what to do, then given the creative choice to use our imagination.
That's awesome. Fourth graders this year are learning how to write a vignette. And part of their mentor text is A House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. But our kids are putting together multiple small stories under the theme of what you want to achieve in your life, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of CKOA. But teachers have restructured that so that the writing unit is cohesive. I'm super excited. Fourth graders.
Can you tell us all who Quigley still is?
He's the dog, and basically the story was about him and how every day he would like say how he would come back, and he did. And then
Quigley got sick.
oh yeah, and he had to go to
Mhm.
and then he was really happy to see the offer there for him, and he like giving it kisses and stuff.
And so he learned that true friendship is when you can trust someone and their word. And Dave kept telling Quigley got sick when she was just a puppy, but he kept telling her when he would put her in the kennel every night, always come back. Good night, and I'll always come back. And then when Quigley had to go to the vet and spend the night, he came back and he told her, see, I told you I'd come back. Awesome.
That was fun.
Thank you.
So was that Mabel? Was it Mabel? Was that your best day ever? Because there was a dog at your school?
Hi, Jacob. Yeah. What do you want to say about your experiences as a writer this year?
I was like really bad at writing when we started. Like I didn't know how to like do the paragraphs or anything, but then Ms. Benedict started teaching us like the lessons and stuff, and I got like really a lot better, like how to use the transitions and all that.
So what did you write about for your essay, your opinion essay?
The one that we were like all had to do the same thing was about like chocolate milk, but the one I chose was about like why like furry shouldn't be in school.
Ooh, why furries should not be allowed in school. Okay. And I understand one of your classmates wrote the opposing opinion that furries should be allowed in school. I can't wait. I've been invited to their author celebration day, so I'll be able to go in and hear their essays. So did you do lots of good research on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it.
Can you tell us what you wrote about chocolate milk? I'm curious.
It was about like why chocolate milk should or shouldn't be allowed in schools.
Interesting. What'd you find out?
I found out that it has like a lot more calories and sugar than normal milk.
It does, but it's delicious.
Unless it's zero sugar and no fat, that is not.
Then it's not delicious.
Sugar's gone.
It takes the deliciousness out.
Yeah.
It's only good with sugar. Anything's good with sugar.
Miss Rutherford, Miss Cook, and Miss Benedict, will you come on up and just talk really briefly? I want to give you a chance to share about your professional experience this year.
Well, hello, I'm Miss Ruther. I teach fourth grade. There's a lot of different things that I could highlight, but I'll just kind of go to the biggest ones, biggest takeaways. One example is just picking a unit. Geology, last year teaching this versus this year teaching this with the structure we've been using, studying a mentor text for that first week, having it, Clark can attest to that, that big poster we have at the beginning, the front of the room, what's all on that poster? What is that poster on the front of the room? It has all the words.
A math mentor text.
Mentor text, he can use the word. Okay, mentor text, right? So that they have.
Thing, but I forgot this name.
So they're studying that. They see the mentor text before they even start writing. And that's not something that the curriculum tells you to do, that we follow. So just right there from the beginning, I feel like that has been so much more helpful. And then following the structure along, that's making sure it's still CKLA aligned, has really helped the kids come a long way in their writing. And I think that that's really great work that we're doing here. As for the author visit, I'm so glad that Clark got to come and share his experience, because all year he's been sharing, or every time he finishes assignment, it's Miss Rather, can I work on my next story? Or can I go and can I write my story? And he is very passionate about it. So being able to have an author come and share their work with the kids. And then I was there when he talked to the author. All the kids were going to pet the dog, but he had his eyes on the author and he kind of gave him his little elevator pitch about his story. And I just saw how happy he was after getting that positive feedback from the author. And I just thought, wow, this is some really meaningful work that we're doing here. And I thought that was really cool. And then literacy night was so much fun. Mrs. Cook and myself, we did a booth, and when I had shared with the kids about literacy night, I was going to take it as a win if maybe 1 or 2 kids showed up. If 1 or 2 kids were interested and showed up, in my book, that would have been a win. I had like almost half my class show up, and I thought that was really cool, and they all really enjoyed themselves. So a lot of great.
To show up your art skills.
So a lot of great work that we're doing here. So I wanted to share.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to boost our principal up and just say that we owe actually a lot to her for our deep dive into writing, because some of us have been with our district for a while, and while writing's always been there, we haven't even touched the surface, honestly. Previously to this year, I feel like this is our first year of a real deep dive into looking at how the structure of writing works to get our kids more involved in writing instead of just touching the surface. There are 2 things that most of us are doing in our classrooms now, thanks to Principal Losi, is we have introduced the quick write. So every day, my kids, almost every day, sometimes we run out of time. So every day, my kids have a 3-minute quick write about a subject. And it's their writing. It can be private or they can share, but it's all about their writing, getting it out every day. And then also we are doing, on top of that, we are doing writer's notebooks, which is really cool. We've never done that before, and it's been so helpful. Even for teachers, I feel the writer's notebooks have been amazing. And so that's been really cool for the kids to have a notebook that they can put our notes in, they can put examples down, and it's that little guide that we've just been using throughout the year. And I'm actually excited. This is my first year doing writer's notebooks, and I'm going to do so much more next year. It's like a trial and error year of like, no, I really like that, but no, that didn't work very well. So I'm excited to develop more of that. And that is all thanks to our principal. Those ideas I did not use before, but now I'm very happy that we do. And I'm looking to develop more. So that is all thanks to our wonderful principal bringing that to us. So thank you.
We also have a lot of 4th grade kids that are talking about bringing their writer's notebooks with them to 5th grade. So I think that'd be really cool to review the concepts, have the examples, and
and I'm Mrs. Benedict. I teach 5th grade. 3 of these lovely kids were mine, and I love them all to death. But I will be on, well, actually 4, because one is just observing. And I actually kind of like the kids when we got a new principal, and I'm like, and she's going, we're going to do writing. I'm like, I was like, really? And honestly, because I've taught for more years than I would like to admit, and I've never felt like I was actually teaching writing. I felt like I was assigning writing. And it would be, you know, just whatever random thing I found off TPT, and I'd shove it at the kids, and then we'd move on. And she brought in writer's workshop, and we've done a lot of research and how to, and I did a writer's workshop when I was in high school, and I wrote nothing the entire semester. So he didn't know what he was doing either. But Maria is really good at it, and she's been helping us learn. She's been giving us a lot of constructive feedback that we've been able to apply to the classrooms. And I feel like, although I always have a couple of kids that are like, I love to write. This year, I feel like I have more kids than ever that, you know, at first when we started the writing lessons, the kids had the same reaction I did. And now they're like, all right, let's go. You know, and they realize, especially when we all did one and then we all got to choose our own, and they got to have that, they all learned the structure first of what goes in the opinion essay, and then they got to apply that to their own choice. And that really got them excited, because it wasn't just write this one little thing and move on. It was something they actually loved and they were excited about. It's so much that, like, Jacob was like, when is Miss Losi coming? I want Miss Losi here for my presentation. And yeah, so I told him this morning, it's like on the calendar, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Jacob and Alana are going at it head to head. But it's been wonderful. I feel like now I actually teach writing. And I feel like the kids are going to be so much more prepared this year for SBA, because I never felt like writing was something I was good at teaching, or that the kids were really, it was just nebulous. There was no like concrete to it. It was very abstract. And now I feel like it's much more concrete. It's much more understandable for me to how to teach it, and understandable for them to be able to produce their writing and express themselves.
Very exciting. Any questions that you'd like to ask our kids or teachers?
You have an observation, Jax, for not wanting to know an opinion. You have very strong opinions about doing an opinion paper.
Yeah, she's great at that. They really are.
So no, that was great. I was curious with the metrics that you had showed up there, 91%, 53, and 75%. What's the timeline to then see like an update on like how that's progressing?
Yeah, students will be taking that data I pulled off of the Washington's portal, the Washington Assessment. We call it WACAP, but what's that stand
Washington
for?
Comprehensive Assessment Program?
Yes, you'd win the prize tonight. So many acronyms in education. I pulled that data straight off of WACAP, and that they disaggregate our Smarter Balanced Assessment, the standardized test, by the strands. And the 3 strands are conventions, structure, elaboration, and detail. So our kids will be taking the test in May, and the results now, thanks to the miracles of technology, will be up very quickly.
Okay.
Before the end of the year, I'll be able to go on and see how we did. I'm already hearing from teachers that right now we're taking the iReady reading assessment, which is a predictor of how students will do in SBA. And so they're taking it now, so teachers will know, okay, where are the gaps we need to fill in between now and the SBA. And teachers are like coming by my office, stopping me in the hall. They're like, oh my gosh, I think there's a kid in here that went from 4th to 7th grade in reading.
Wow. That was me.
Good job.
I do have to ask you, what is the general topic of the book you're writing?
Dragons.
Okay.
I like dragons. So
What's not to love about dragons, right? They're fantastic.
it's called Dragon Hunters.
Okay, well, I look forward to reading it.
Dragons coexist.
All right.
And then after, can we get a group photo of everyone from MCE?
Could we do that
love-
right now?
Yeah, we can do it right
They'd
now.
love to
Okay.
get pictures of the
Okay,
board.
let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If all of the students from Monte Cristo could come up and board too, that would be great.
Hold tight here, but we'll figure it out.
I think it's on a stand behind.
I'm gonna look forward to the book.
And I also can't believe I went from 4th to 7th grade.
Yeah.
This chair is like.
I can't believe I went from fourth to seventh.
I can't believe it either. I just want to back all the way up to here. That way we can make sure we get in here with you.
Yeah, there's we're now seven.
Take your photos first.
Like
And
you
then
can
I'll
deal
take
with each
mine.
other. Smile.
Right in the middle. Okay. Everyone got theirs? Okay. Okay, ready? Look at me now. Oh, hold on one second. Ready? Okay. Come on.
Just
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mom calls me after and we have to smile like nothing happened. Mom, I told you don't let me down. That's
Okay, thank you all.
Ego's proof, how much easier.
Oh, gosh, this is just so tight in here too.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
That's because we moved this table back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all updated. Okay, writers change the world.
There we go. And I will now turn it over to Executive Director Moore for a teaching and learning update.
Bless you.
So much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's
Lily's like,
She's like Claire in the.
sorry, Lily.
It's like, hey.
Try to follow Clark.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
Okay, don't need it.
I'm also impressed, guys.
I'm
Like, I had to read.
Well, I got new glasses, my first pair of glasses ever, and I can now read that, so I don't actually use my computer to, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Lovely to see you. That was lovely.
For the first time ever.
I'm so proud of our kids, and thank you.
I haven't never had glasses.
This is the way of the future. And so I hope that you hear that from our kiddos and from it's not groundbreaking work, it's work that we need to do. And it's really, really valuable, and you can hear it from the kids and you can hear it from our teachers that there's real value. And the research talks about the impact of writing on reading, but also the impact of writing on math. We've got some work to do, so thank you for doing this. Just a really quick 6 bullets here. Huge thank you to Granite Falls High School yesterday. I think that you probably know that we do regular visits with our schools. Our district leadership team went there yesterday and conducted about 2.5 hours of a school visit. And those school visits are very intentionally designed around really understanding what the projects are at the school, what we're working on at the school, their school improvement plans, our goals, and then walking through classrooms. And so we had a number of different classrooms we saw yesterday, something like 15 or 12 or something classrooms. It was really wonderful to see, and thank you to Granite Falls High School, the teachers, staff, and Mr. Pike and Mr. B. We have one more for Crossroads and ELC that's coming in May, and we're excited to see that. Just a quick assessment update. We are finishing our wellness screener. As you're aware, we do a student wellness screener 3 times in the year, and that is this week. We are almost there. We are doing participation rates every day, and we're getting there. So this is super important information for us. It gives us really two real ways to think about this data. The first is if we have a kiddo who says, I feel alone at school, I feel sad, I don't have any friends, there's not an adult we can talk to, we can wrap around that student today and contact the family, contact the student, put some supports into place to wrap around that kiddo. And then as a school building, we can use that data to really determine what are our next moves in terms of goal 3 in our school improvement, which is really around belonging. Super important to remember that an attendance goal on your school improvement plan is not about attendance. It's about relationship.
It's about, do I want to come to school? Do I feel like there's an adult who will see me and hear me? And so this is the work that we do. So we use that data in a variety of ways. In terms of school funding, we have just submitted phase 2 of our program review. So we are awaiting response. We'll have final determinations in May, and then a final round of submission for June 2nd. And super excited, and we didn't plan it this way, having Principal Losi here in the room, but Maria called me about a month ago, and she said, we really want to grow our 5th grade band, and we don't have enough instruments. What can you do for me? And as a district leader, that question is always a kind of a, how much money do you have? And so we had a conversation, and we were able to put together a little bit of funding out of a Title IV fund, which is specifically designed for well-rounded education. So it pays for things that would enhance or implement the school day. And this is a perfect expenditure. So as of right now, we have received instruments that are right now being inventoried and given serial number, and they will be used for 5th graders at Monte Cristo Elementary as a really wonderful on-ramp for when they really join for real in the 6th grade at Granite Falls Middle School. So thank you to Maria for bringing that work forward, and we're excited to have those in the hands of our kids.
Can I just add a good number piece, and that was when Brooke Rundle, our music teacher, came to me and said, oh, I want to tell you about this band thing that I do every year, and we do it after school 2 days a week, and kids get to try on an instrument. They learn the beginning of reading music, and it's really good. It's really cool. And I said, how many kids? And she said, well, I said, where do they get the instruments? And she said, well, we have a couple that we borrow from the high school, and but we tell kids that we tell kids only if you really, really can't afford an instrument. And I said, well, how many kids are signed up? 24. We have 63 kids participating in band. So pretty exciting. And I left school tonight, and they all got here Friday, and they were unpacking and creating inventory. And Brooke, they were trying them out.
Not the symphony today.
And just so you know, there are two separate rotations. So there's a group A of 5th graders and a group B of 5th graders. Because as you can imagine, having 63 band students that are 5th grade, just starting to play an instrument, don't know what to do with the mouthpiece, don't know how to put the instrument together, can be a little bit of a handful. So great job.
Well, we probably don't know, but you as a music teacher probably have an idea of.
Let me just take my word for it, 63 5th graders with band instruments, ... So it's very exciting.
Is that 40% of the student population?
Say again.
Is that 40% of the student population
of that class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
those two.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Never known of band to comprise 40% of any student population. So that's
and they're coming after school and
before
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but outside of school hours,
yeah.
Parents are driving them, and
sometimes at the high school bus.
Really quickly on Title IV funds, there is some specificity around that, and it does fit the model. You'll remember that Title IV funds used to be there were the funds from the tobacco settlement from many years ago, and those monies sat there. And at first they were for smoking, like in tobacco, education and those kind of things. They have grown the regulations around that, so we know that when kids are involved in after school and before school activities and those kind of things, that it thwarts those things. So it's great that the language around it has changed, and we have some more flexibility. Then we had some matching funds, which I'm sure you're going to talk about.
We invested about $5,000, and a special thank you to our community coalition, who they were able to also contribute to the effort. So super proud of this work. I'm a longtime musician and a longtime fan of this work. And we talk a lot about research, but research says that the kiddos that play music are going to be more successful in the rest of their content because they're learning a new language, they're engaging in really cognitively disciplined content. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very exciting, and more to come on that. So my final two things. Huge shout out to the elementary advisory team. This is a team of elementary teachers as a representative. There's 2 representatives from each grade level. And they came together actually in this room last night. We transitioned it after they were done, but there were charts across the wall. They've been working on pacing guides. Super important and super important for our students that we have a common and aligned experience for our learners. And you've heard me talk about the arc of instruction, and our elementary advisory team is rocking it. They will complete that in May, and then we will have a calendar of instruction for elementary for ELA and math. And then next year's work, it takes time, it takes collaboration, it takes processing. Cassandra, Ms. Benedict is part of that work, but it is a lovely team of people who come together and they are just diving in and doing the work. Next work for us will also be to look at updating and doing some adjustments to our elementary report card comments. They're a little bit dated. It's always important to look at those often. And then finally, a shout out to our Crossroads teachers. A group came together just a few weeks back. They have done some work around our HMH math curriculum. They weren't able to use the HMH into math that was adopted a few years ago before my time because students were struggling to get to access it. And so we were able to, using OSSI funds that are specific to Crossroads, put together a package for them of HMH Math 180, which is intervention curriculum. And those teachers came together to learn how to do it. So now at Crossroads High School, we are using HMH into literature in 11th grade. We're using HMH Read 180, which is the reading intervention curriculum, and we're using HMH Math 180. And it is very much designed for the learners as they're coming to us. So we take their assessment data and then we match the curriculum directly to them. So super shout out to those teachers who came together. It was a full day of instruction on how to use that curriculum. And super important for us moving forward so that we can help our students get to where they need to be. Any questions for me? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Director Cruz.
Just a quick reminder, the whole business report is in the board packet for you guys to review kind of outside the board meeting. We're trying this new thing this year where we just put a couple of slides in the report to kind of summarize the business report and hoping to give a quick overview. And then if anybody wants a deeper dive, it's in the board packet. So first slide I have up is enrollment. We've been seeing a steady kind of decline at the high school level all year long, which we need to do a deep dive into and see where those students are going. Everybody else is holding steady or increasing. And as of April 1st, our average is 2188. And we are not counting worksite learning yet. So once we add worksite learning in, we'll be over 2,200 and we'll be better than budget, but still want to find out kind of what's going on at the high school with that slow decline in enrollment throughout the year. And the big thing is, we have kindergarten roundup coming up. We're really monitoring kindergarten. Our demographics report says one of these days you're going to get a really big kindergarten class coming through, and it's going to start a trend of really big kindergarten classes. It was supposed to be this year, didn't happen this year. We're kind of mentally ready for it if it happens, and we'll pivot if it does. But we're budgeting based on normal numbers for kindergarten. But any one of these years could start a trend of really big kindergarten classes. And our demographics study that has us getting to about 3,000 students in 5 or 6 years. It's dependent on those big kindergarten classes. So that's why it's really important that we monitor that. I'd like to include a slide that has just kind of a snapshot of where we are right now with all our funds. Our general fund is positive 291. That's $1.2 million better than it was last year, which is fantastic. It's a little below budget. We've got some headwinds with inflation and funding and student needs and things like that. So we're probably going to end around 6%, which we had kind of the deep dive forecast of that in last board report. All of our other funds are doing great. We did get a new bus in March, so our transportation fund is going to be kind of going down a little bit, but that's what we want to do. We want to buy buses with our money. or else that money gets less. So I think snapshot of where we are right now looks really good.
Marcia, can you talk about, can you talk about the ASB funds? They've spent some significant dollars, right?
ASB funds is actually up from where we thought it would be. The current balance is $389,000. That, it pays for all the ASB stuff, like student fees go into that, and then ticket fees go into that, but that pays for referees and bus trips and stuff like that for student activities. We have more students participating in things. We have a much bigger budget in ASB than we ever have. We have much more money coming in and out of ASB due primarily to student participation and families coming out to sporting events, paying for tickets to events, giving us more money to spend on those student activities.
Okay. Thank you.
And then just kind of wanted to give a heads up what's coming. We're in the middle of our big federal, state annual audit, and it's going well. They've wrapped up all their field work. We're anticipating next exit conference, maybe the second week of May. We'll get an invite out to everybody, seeing who wants to attend that, trying to make it in person, but they're also trying to wrap up everybody's conferences sometime in that 2-week period. They're going to roll the ALE audit results that we have. They're going to roll it into those results to make it one comprehensive audit result. So we'll get those results at that time as well. Stay tuned to next board meeting where we'll have the resolution for the bridge loan for our levy money. And then Millig's been out a couple weeks ago. They were here for 3 days doing major inventorying of our HVAC and lighting structures here. They're going to be back next week, continuing their deep dive. And they will build a report of needs and costs and projected savings if we implement the costs, the projects to the board for prioritization. And then we're targeting, we always do early July for a budget study session and July 22nd for the budget adoption. And then going to have lots of summer projects this year. We're going to have to work around some bigger projects going on in the district. So we haven't decided what we think we can tackle as a internal team yet. Waiting to hear what we're going to try and do with Millig and with the health center and all those things, taking up a lot of space and time. That's it.
And just another, like for everybody watching, that the school-based health center is not part of levy dollars or district funds. It is completely funded out of,
it's a grant.
It's something from it's from the governor's budget. So I think that is really important, and it will provide, again, medical, dental, and mental health services for our students free of cost, but it is no cost to the district.
And the ongoing services are no cost to the district as well.
Correct. Yeah. And then lastly, our upcoming events, and I know Thomas mentioned this, the Honor Society induction, April 28th at the high school PAC, kindergarten roundup, anyone who could attend that, it's the cutest thing ever. And so if you want to attend, there's a 2-hour window there. And then the athletic field and the capital projects levy committees that are meeting, and there's the 2 dates there, but they're also the first Tuesday of the month and the second Tuesday of the month, and there'll be ongoing meetings. We want to be as transparent as possible on all the levy work and all the dollars being spent, and continue to communicate that out to our community so everybody knows what's happening. And then, spring sports are fun because you never know when they're going to happen. So instead of saying it's rare for a basketball game to get canceled, but it is not rare for a softball game to get canceled. So just check out your school, the high school's website and those kind of things to see when things are happening, and because rain can be a thing, right? And we have 2 college players sitting here, so they have to be flexible. So spring sports, and then you get your games in, your matches in, but we never know when they're going to occur. So
especially Monday, none of our team knew that we had a game Monday.
See,
we're like,
yeah, you have to be ready to play. I remember packing my uniform several days and it just kept raining, and you're like, one of these days we're going to get this game in, so. All right, that's it.
All right. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Item 4, items from the floor. None. Okay.
5, unfinished business. We have none. 6A, new business, reduced educational support resolution. Any discussion on this? This is primarily driven by the fact that our co-op with Lake Stevens is officially done at the end of this year. So Crossroads will have
reduced FTE.
Yeah, reduced students there. So any comments, questions, discussion?
No, I think it's prudent to make sure that our budget stays balanced, that we prepare for this. And we always seem to make adjustments, well, at least since I've been on the board, that we're not overextending on staffing for students that aren't here.
Yep.
Is there any possibility of attrition?
Of course.
Allowing those people to maintain employment?
Yes, always. So just to be financially prudent, I would say the majority of districts in the area are doing a reduction in force. Ours happens to be classified only. I'm sure you've seen in the news that other districts are, it is 6 million in Mount Vernon. It's, and so I'm very grateful that we are only having to do a classified reduction, and it really is due to the sunsetting of that agreement with Lake Stevens. And it allows us some flexibility, but yes, there are generally positions available, but if we don't meet certain deadlines on the calendar, then we have to do RIF resolutions by a certain date. So we want to make sure we do that. And then, of course, if there's positions that they are qualified for and can apply for them. And we don't know all of the attrition that's going to happen yet. So
Historically, we do this every year, and it's very rare that we have to take action.
Use all of them, yeah.
So we have to be prepared.
Yeah. Okay, if no other discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the reduced educational support resolution.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then item 7, consent agenda. Any discussion within the consent agenda?
No, just that we updated the attachments.
Yeah.
I don't see the minutes, but so are there minutes?
There are in the in your meetings in the edit in the minute. I don't attach the minutes to the consent agenda.
So do we approve the minutes in the consent agenda if they're not?
Have you gone into the last meeting and looked at the minutes that are in there? They're just not published to the public.
So the meetings, we're approving the minutes from the last meeting here, but they're just not in here. They're in the previous meeting.
So I guess to be honest, then no, I didn't go to the last meeting.
We can move it, we can add them there.
Yeah.
I just
I think they're available, right?
Yeah, I think they are
Either
available.
way.
I'm just trying to.
Make it stop shopping. I don't remember if they've been attached before.
All it says is approval of the minutes for March 11th. So I am maybe looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Why don't I just?
Am I assuming that you all have found the minutes somewhere else?
No, I'll start a new process.
We can add it to the consent agenda going forward
For the next one.
Okay. But I'm for
Yeah,
real
his
looking
minutes.
at it and I don't.
All right, so should we remove the item?
I'm looking on the 11th. You can just tell me where they are and I'll look at them right now. And then I
It's
can.
easier on a laptop because then you go into, let me.
I'm looking at the agenda for the last one. Is it not there?
On the, I don't know what your computer screen looks like, but
just like that.
And then edit minutes, and then the minutes are in there, and they're just not published to the public.
We'll just add them
Yeah.
to this and make it part of the consent agenda attached.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me just.
I see it. I found it.
Okay, she was able to find it. Okay, but we can going forward, we can do that. I'll do that.
Okay, so any action required from the consent agenda right now? Just leave it
I
as
think
is.
so.
Okay. If no discussion for consent agenda, then the consent agenda passes with unanimous consent. The time is 7:14, and that adjourns this meeting of the Granite Falls School Board. Thank you.
Good job.
Can we agree that Clark is hilarious?
Oh my gosh.